It's quiet. It feels safe. By safe, I simply mean that we are all in a state of respect with each other.
So, there was this moment where Kody finally explained what he means by safety and feeling safe. For a long time, it seemed unclear what that really meant in his context, and this explanation didn't really clear it up for many people. It felt like a lot of therapy jargon used more as a weapon than a genuine insight. Instead of wanting to create a space where everyone truly feels secure, it came across as him demanding respect in a way that basically means nobody questions him or calls out his behavior. If anyone does, like going to the store without him, talking to family, or just existing, it's seen as a betrayal. This attitude reflects what many recognized as classic narcissistic behavior, a need for control, obedience, and admiration rather than mutual respect. Others noticed this wasn't unique to him, but rather a family-wide pattern. The word safe seemed to be used repeatedly, but often it felt like a way to avoid difficult conversations or pushback, rather than create a genuinely safe emotional space. It's almost like safe meant silence or unquestioning acceptance, which is far from what true safety means, being free from harm or feeling secure enough to be honest. Several people pointed out that what Kody describes as respect is more about obedience and fear, hinting at a kind of misogynistic idea where the man's authority must be unquestioned. There's a sense that he wants admiration without having earned it, expecting it simply because he demands it. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. The dynamic between Kody and Robyn also drew attention. Some felt Robyn and her kids' concerns about feeling unsafe start to make sense under this lens. Safety isn't about actual protection or care, but about control and avoiding criticism. It's telling that safe is thrown around to just shut down genuine expression, making it sound like anyone who speaks up is being disloyal or disrespectful. One comment even described this definition of safety as unchecked behavior, where Kody feels safest when no one challenges him, allowing him to behave badly with no consequences. This approach to respect and safety obviously creates tension. People observed that the family seemed to want to maintain a superficial harmony, preferring dishonest peace over honest conflict. Kody's repeated frustrations when things don't go his way came across as childish, demanding respect while often behaving poorly himself. Some saw it as classic narcissism, always blameless, always controlling the narrative, and using therapy language to mask these dynamics. The Thanksgiving scene in this context became almost symbolic. There was an awkwardness to it. No stuffing, no sides, just a pre-cooked turkey from Whole Foods that looked dry and tough. Kody struggled to carve it, and it seemed like the original wives often had to pick up the slack for him. Even Robyn's lack of experience in cooking and running a household was noted, painting a picture of her as a victim of sorts within this family dynamic. There was also some reflection on how these therapy words like safe and loyalty are frequently thrown around, but only ever demanded from others, not reciprocated. It's like they have a script to defend their opinions and shut down anyone questioning them. Safe turns into a code word for don't rock the boat, don't challenge me, which undermines real emotional safety and respect. A few comments touched on the broader idea that being away from Kody might actually be the safest place for those involved, considering how exhausting and controlling his presence can be. His state of respect is less about mutual care and more about unquestioned obedience, and that leaves little room for authentic relationships. There's a palpable frustration that his definition of safety is tied to his need for control rather than genuine love or understanding. All in all, the discussion reveals a complex web of control, misused language, and strained family dynamics. The idea of safety, which should be about trust, security, and openness, gets twisted into something that enforces silence and obedience. It's a reminder of how important it is to consider what people really mean when they talk about feeling safe, and how those meanings can differ drastically depending on who's defining it and why. There's this situation where a family is going through some pretty intense drama, and it really shows how complicated involving children in adult conflicts can get. One parent insists that the kids shouldn't be dragged into the issues between the adults, yet at the same time, it's clear the kids are very much aware of what's happening. In fact, even the youngest child is not only tracking the family tension, but expressing strong feelings about it. For example, the youngest child made a blunt statement about disliking one of the adults, saying it was because that person left their dad. The parent tried to correct this, telling the child she didn't know the person well enough to judge, but also acknowledged that this kind of loyalty, kids siding with one parent over another, is happening throughout the family. It's a tricky situation because, of course, children tend to side with their parents naturally, especially when they pick up on the emotional atmosphere. What's striking is that the parent actually seemed to appreciate this loyalty from the child, which feels a little off. It's like the children are being used as pawns in the adult conflicts, even when the adults say otherwise. And it's not just about this incident. There are moments where one parent sat the kids down and made a big deal about things like Thanksgiving plans, clearly involving the kids emotionally in the family drama. Then there's this other heavier issue. The same parent once gave a really harsh talk to all the kids about purity. The message was pretty brutal, especially toward one child, who was described as a mistake or as having something precious stolen from them because of their conception. That kind of speech in front of the whole family and an audience is not only inappropriate but deeply damaging. It's understandable why people feel for the kids caught in all of this, especially that one child who seemed to bear the brunt of it. There's also debate about whether the parent was truly coerced in their past relationship or if the story is being shaped to fit a certain narrative. Some see it as an attempt to erase an inconvenient past and paint themselves as a victim without actually saying it outright. Others note that the parent often uses suggestive language to get others to fill in the blanks for her, rather than owning the story directly. On the topic of loyalty and what the kids say, there's skepticism about whether certain statements really came from the children themselves, or if they were influenced or coached by the adults. For instance, one child's comment about a parent not having dates might not be as innocent as it seems, and could be the result of the family environment shaping the child's perspective. Interestingly, there's an observation that the adults don't seem to have consistent stories or aligned narratives. They contradict themselves and even admit negative feelings about each other openly, which only adds to the confusion and emotional strain. One parent even admitted frustration about another's behavior in front of the children, which is hardly helpful. People reflect on how all of this likely takes a toll on the children, being lied to, manipulated, and used as tools in ongoing conflicts. Even the older kids, who might seem like adults, are probably struggling to break free from the emotional grip of such a charged family atmosphere. It's easy to imagine that living in this environment is exhausting and confusing for everyone involved. The adults themselves come off as inconsistent and sometimes self-serving. Some comments suggest that one parent in particular might be more interested in control and winning than genuine love or honesty. There's mention of passive-aggressive digs and mean-spirited remarks, showing a pattern of behavior that's damaging not just to the other adults but to the kids too. Despite all the drama, it's clear that these complicated family dynamics revolve around emotions, loyalty, and pain, things that don't resolve easily when children are caught in the middle. The situation serves as a reminder of how important it is to protect kids from adult conflicts, though in this case, that ideal seems far from reality. In the end, what stands out is the difficult reality of children navigating divided loyalties and conflicting messages within their own family, and how adults' actions, whether intentional or not, can deeply impact their emotional well-being. It's a heavy situation that makes you think about the long-term effects on those kids and the challenges they face growing up in such an environment. There's been a lot of talk about certain cast members being moved down in status on the show, specifically Kody and Robyn. In this franchise, sometimes when a housewife isn't a main focus anymore, they get demoted to friend status. That means they're no longer in the opening credits and only get paid for the scenes they actually appear in alongside the main cast. A lot of people think that's exactly what should happen to Kody and Robyn. The main appeal for many isn't the typical family gatherings or baby showers. They find those parts boring. Instead, it's the drama unfolding from the divorces and how those relationships are shaking out that's truly gripping. There's a desire to see what comes next for Kody, especially when it comes to things like child support or his reactions to the fallout. The hope is to witness a kind of downfall or unraveling, which some see as a form of karma finally catching up. On the other hand, Kody is that classic reality TV villain, someone people love to hate. Even though he can be really irritating and make viewers want to turn off the TV, he's still the reason many keep watching. There's a push and pull where people want him gone because he feeds his own ego by staying in the spotlight, but they also can't stop tuning in because the drama he brings is a source of twisted entertainment. Others point out that without Kody, the whole show might lose its center. He's been the main thread tying the family drama together, and without him, the other cast members might not have enough going on to keep viewers interested. Some suggest that if the show continues, it should focus more on the other family members who are more active and involved in storylines, like Janelle, Christine, David, Mykelti, and Maddie. Still, many agree that Kody and Robyn don't really share much of their real lives anymore. Their scenes feel curated, like a polished image rather than genuine moments. Unlike other cast members who let viewers into their homes and personal lives, Kody and Robyn seem to hide behind a carefully managed facade. Some even feel that they believe their presence on the show is some kind of gift to the audience, complete with over-the-top declarations about their love story, which only adds to viewers' frustration. A big point of criticism is how Kody has managed his relationships with his children, particularly that his bond is mostly with Robyn's kids, while his connections with the others seem weak or non-existent. This has led to a lot of resentment and accusations that he used the family and the show for his own benefit without genuine care for all involved. The idea of paying cast members strictly based on the content they provide was floated, with a suggestion that if they don't bring real interaction or meaningful scenes, they shouldn't get paid. Some imagine a new format where Kody and Robyn would only show up briefly, like reacting to major family events, and then disappear from the screen entirely, letting the rest of the family take the spotlight. Still, even with all the criticism, the presence of Kody and Robyn keeps a certain tension and energy on the show. Some watch just to see Kody make a fool of himself, while others avoid watching when Robyn is on screen. For many, the current dynamic is a mix of frustration and fascination, as they watch old wounds surface and family secrets come to light. In the end, the conversation comes back to a desire for authenticity and real stories. Viewers want to see genuine connections, real struggles, and growth, rather than staged scenes and shallow interactions. Whether the show shifts to focus more on the original three wives or continues to spotlight the drama surrounding Kody and Robyn, it's clear that the story is far from over, and the audience's appetite for the real emotions behind the drama remains strong. There's this really painful situation unfolding where a father, Kody, seems to openly mock his children's feelings, especially around the fact that he once said he didn't love their mother. Imagine being one of those kids, hearing your dad say something so hurtful, claiming he never loved your mom. It's hard to even wrap your head around how damaging that must be. On top of that, he refuses to take any responsibility for the pain caused, and even refers to his own children dismissively as those people. It's as if he distances himself from them completely, which only adds to the emotional divide. The children's feelings are clearly deeply affected by the ongoing conflict between their parents. It's well known that kids often internalize what's said about their parents because they see themselves in both. One example that really illustrates this sensitivity is a parent who couldn't attend their youngest son's graduation and ended up editing out the boy's father from the photo he sent, wanting just a picture of their own child. The son was understandably upset, even though the intention wasn't to disrespect his dad. This shows how complicated and delicate these family dynamics are. Kids really feel caught in the middle and are sensitive about loyalty and love. The tension isn't one-sided either. Both parents have their flaws in how they handle things. While Kody's hurtful comments and refusal to show empathy are glaring, the mother, Christine, is also criticized for her ongoing negative comments about him on television. But some argue that she's responding to his constant gaslighting and public statements denying any love for her. It seems like they're locked in a cycle where Kody wants his children to come begging for forgiveness, but he doesn't recognize his own role in the damage. Instead, he acts like the victim, which only frustrates everyone involved. There's also this debate about whether Kody ever truly loved his children, or if he's just been lying for years. Some believe he did love them, but not with the same passion he has for his current wife, Robyn, and that falling for her made him realize how little he felt for the others. Others think he's rewriting history now, trying to spin a narrative that absolves him of past mistakes, which the kids hear and feel deeply betrayed by. It's telling that he tends to refer to the children by their mother's names, rather than as his own, which feels like a distancing tactic. Marriage naturally has its ups and downs, but what's happening here goes beyond that. It's about emotional abandonment and fractured trust. This all leaves the children questioning everything, whether any expressions of love from their father were ever genuine. His repeated cruel comments and refusal to listen or change have shattered the trust he once had. The pain this causes is real and raw, especially since he refuses to reflect on his actions. It's heartbreaking to watch, especially for those who've experienced similar pain from parents who act narcissistically. What makes this even more tragic is the way the family struggles are played out publicly, on television, almost like a spectacle. After a recent death in the family, the show's priorities seem misplaced, focusing on presenting a false image of care and connection rather than truly addressing the emotional wounds. Many feel the production is trying to sanitize or sane-wash Kody and Robyn, ignoring the deep harm caused to the children. At the heart of it, this situation is a vivid example of what happens when a parent refuses to grow emotionally, refuses to show empathy, and continues to treat their own children as burdens or tools for their own image. Calling his children those people and making it clear their existence is tied to duty rather than love only widens the divide. It's no surprise, then, that reconciliation seems impossible. Kody doesn't seem to understand the pain he's caused or what it means to be a compassionate parent. Ultimately, it's a deeply sad story of broken relationships, hurt feelings, and the struggle of children trying to find love and validation from a parent who seems unwilling or unable to give it. It leaves you thinking about how crucial empathy and responsibility are in any family, and how damaging it can be when those are missing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.